We just finished watching NXT No Mercy 2025, and this was a pretty good card all around. I feel like there was no bad matches on this one. But what are your quick thoughts on the card on its totality?
Yeah, I think it was a very solid card. Big surprise at the end, obviously, with the main event. But yeah, this was very solid. Nothing too crazy, but also nothing bad happened.
Yeah, for sure. But we're gonna kick things off with Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs, starting off the show here. So they get the opener match. Big spot for Javon Evans to be in. A big moment for Josh Briggs. He doesn't get too many of these kind of big moments here, so really good for him. A crazy week and maybe even month for Javon Evans on SmackDown as a TNA World Title match at Bound for Glory. So a lot of good stuff going on with Javon Evans, but this match was pretty good. I felt like maybe it went a little bit too long. There was a couple of times where I was like felt like it was dragging a little bit, and maybe they were just kind of, I don't know, not doing things to kind of impress you for the amount of time that they got. But it was a decent match, and I feel like both of them kind of impressed throughout it.
Yeah, this match is exactly what it kind of needed to be. With a Javon win, while both men look impressive here. Yeah, it was solid. Like I said, wanted Javon to win. He did get the win, and yeah, hopefully this means whoever is the world champion at the end of the night, he is next in line for whoever that is.
Yeah, for sure. And then moving on to our second match, we have our first ever WWE Women's Speed Championship title defense showing up on an NXT PLE, and we have Sol Ruka defeating Jada Parker with the help of Lash Legend and Zarya. We seen Lash Legend come out, kind of give a distraction to Jada Parker and Zarya. Zarya goes to spear Jada Parker, but she gets out of the way, spears Lash, and that kind of sets up Soul to do the Soul Snatcher, and she gets the pin over Jada Parker right before the timer buzzes. But yeah, Sol Ruka retains her title in a pretty good match, and yeah, I kind of like the speed format on NXT pay-per-views, to be honest, because it's fast-paced, especially with someone like Sol Ruka. She can make it work and make 5 minutes kind of feel like 8 or 9 sometimes. But yeah, I really enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be a match where Lainey Reed was supposed to be in here, but it was announced before the show that she wasn't medically cleared, so she was, this was a mystery opponent for Sol Ruka and Jada Parker. But yeah, this was a good little match. Nothing too much happens, obviously, because it is that 5-minute limit, but yeah, pretty fun for what it was. And yeah, I'm glad Sol still holds a champion, and I like how it was able to build Soul's match, but also the Jada Parker and Lash Legend feud that's been kind of brewing over the past few weeks.
Yeah, and this will not be the last time that we see Lash Legend and Jada Parker on the card, because a little bit later on the card we see Lash Legend come out and she's saying that if TNA is going to come into NXT and try to take over, she wants to be the leader, the one to stand up for NXT, and as she's kind of making that announcement, talking about Jada Parker as well, she comes out and attacks her backstage, setting up a match for next week's NXT episode. But moving on to our third match of the night, and my favorite match of the night, we have Jordynne Grace taking on Blake Monroe in a weaponized steel cage match. I mean, you talked a little bit before this match, and we were kind of speculating on what it was going to look like, what it was going to be, would they do hardcore things, and I feel like they definitely gave us what we wanted with this. I feel like there was big moments, there was big spots, it was just a really good match in general. I feel like the storytelling of it throughout it, of Blake not being able to overpower Jordan, and her just being too much for her to handle. Blake Monroe going for the early shots with the weapons and just trying to take advantage of all the things surrounding her, where Jordynne Grace was just kind of using her power and her strength more than the weapons that were surrounding the cage. But yeah, this was a really good match here.
Yeah, this was a pretty fun one. The one thing with these like weapon matches and like these extreme matches is W doesn't want to use actual crazy things like thumbtacks or staplers, whatever it may be, but they'll use kind of like things like in this match they used diamonds as tacks, but sometimes it kind of feels a little goofy. I don't really like that too much, but it was kind of alright with the diamonds. They also had one point where Blake Monroe had a hair dryer, which I didn't really care for too much, but yeah, this match was still really fun. I'm glad that Jordynne gets the big win here over Blake, kind of putting it at 1-1 now between the two. So, like I said, I still feel like that third match is where we're really going to get things to really kick off between them, and it's probably going to be the best match between them.
Yeah, I don't think this feud is over with them at all. We also seen during the match, during the spot that you mentioned with the hair dryer where she ties her hands to the ropes, we actually see her bring out some scissors, and it was like, okay, what is going to happen? This is like, this is some AEW shit right here. What is WWE doing? But it was to use it to cut Jordynne Grace's hair. She just starts ripping out lots and lots of hair. I don't know how much hair she cut, but it was a ton. More than I anticipated. I thought she would just come in there, cut one little strand or something and be like, oh, I got your hair. But no, she actually went in there and cut actually a lot of it. But yeah, about the spot that you mentioned earlier, though, about the diamonds, I feel like the fact that they did do the diamonds, it was kind of weird because at least in my brain, what I'm thinking of, if they were to do glass, let's say, like the fake glass, obviously, I feel like that would probably hurt less than the diamonds because the diamonds are big, thick, chunky things. Like landing on that has to hurt like hell.
Yeah.
Whereas the glass is thinner. It's obviously made safer. It's not made to cut you. Obviously, you might get a little bit of blood on your back or something. That always looks good for the visual. But I feel like the diamonds honestly probably hurt more than the glass. At least from my non-wrestling brain.
Yeah, it's probably like Legos, where if you step on it, probably doesn't feel good, but it also isn't going to kill you either. So, but this match was really fun. Like I said, glad that Jordan gets the win here, and there's probably going to be a part 3, so that's the best thing to look forward to from this.
Yeah, and then a shocking retain that we had happen on the night. We have Ethan Page defeating Tavion Heights. And this was also another really good match. It's probably my second favorite match of the night here. Tavion Heights, I feel like he really proved himself to show that he could stand up and be part of the better wrestlers on NXT right now. And I feel like he definitely deserved the win here. I kind of feel like it was his moment here. I feel like this could have been a big kind of takeoff point for him to kind of win that title and just go on and do some cooler things and send Ethan Page off to maybe the world title picture or maybe to the main roster. Maybe do his little thing with Chelsea Green that he's been doing recently. But yeah, kind of surprised that he did retain. But yeah, I guess we'll see Tavion Heights win in the future maybe.
Yeah, I definitely thought this was the moment where we're going to see Tavion get the big win here, but unfortunately not. I do think that it feels like it's kind of getting to the point where I don't think Tavion's going to win any type of gold anytime soon, but I don't mind that since Ethan Page is still the champion. He's been great, so I can't complain about that, but it would have been nice for Tavion to get a big moment here, but yeah. Ethan Page gets the win here. Not too mad about it, but yeah, glad that we still got some more, I guess, for Ethan down the line.
And a little bit before, maybe a little bit after here, we have an announcement from Ava show up on screen, and she talks about the TNA kind of takeover that happened on the last NXT episode. And what she says in there is very interesting, me bringing back something from the past, an old PLE, but it's not going to be a PLE, it's going to be on an NXT episode, and that is Invasion. So if you're familiar with the 2000 to 2005 era where the WCW people are coming over, the ECW people are coming over, we're basically going to be getting that in a 2025 version with TNA, and that's very exciting for me as someone who does watch TNA. We kind of already knew that was going to be a thing that happens based off of what happened on Tuesday, of course, but now that it is official, we see that's going to be a Survivor Series style 5 vs 5 match for the men and the women. I feel like that is just very exciting thing, and maybe TNA could win their belts back. Maybe they could take some WWE belts with them. But yeah, very exciting announcement here from Ava.
Yeah, and if you haven't already watched this past week's Victory Road from TNA, we did see a new Women's World Champion or Knockouts Women's Champion announced as Ash Violet gets, I don't know necessarily what happened, but she either retired or is stepping away from wrestling for at least a extended amount of time. She had to relinquish the belt. There was a tournament, or not tournament, but a battle royal where the last two people would go on to have a one-on-one in the main event, and it would end up being NXT's Kalani Jordan, so we are back to having both champions in NXT. So yeah, TNA really has to step up when this invasion happens to really, I think, get some more momentum back for him, because yeah, it does kind of feel bad that you had Ash get the big win just for Kalani to win it back in a where she didn't have to pin an NXT person to get it. So yeah, it sucks for Ash, obviously, but is cool for this invasion angle.
Yeah, I feel like everything kind of works out. Obviously, kind of a last-minute decision with the Ash by Elegant stuff that happened, but not only that, but they had the Masha Slamovich stuff that happened that also threw a wrench into their plane. So kind of a lot of stuff going on with TNA as far as that goes, so you kind of feel bad for them a little bit. It's a lot of kind of stuff going on in the division for them right now, but I do think they kind of went around it pretty well. But leading into our last two matches of the night, our final two championship matches, we're starting off with our women's world title match where JC Jane does defeat Lola Vice with the help of a mystery attacker in this match.
Yeah, this match was pretty solid. I do feel like it went a little bit too long, but that's me. Maybe I'm a bit too much of a critic. But yeah, this match was really fun. I think Lola Vice has been improving a ton over since she's kind of been getting this bigger push and where she's kind of being played in a bigger role, doing a lot of the AAA stuff that NXT's been being involved with. But yeah, she's been great. JC was pretty good in this match as well. But I think for me, Lola Vice was kind of the more MVP-ish in this match. I think I really enjoyed her in this match.
Yeah, I feel like they both did really good here. They had the Mr. Attacker that I mentioned. I do kind of feel like it's just Lainey Reed. They had a moment backstage where Lainey was kind of talking about how she was disappointed that she got injured before a match and couldn't go for the title. And then Lola comes up kind of offering her some advice and telling her, you know, keep your head up. And then she just snaps on her kind of. So I do kind of predict that that will be Lainey Reed, and maybe she will be that third member of Fatal Influence to pick up Jasmine Nix's spot that she kind of left on the team. But yeah, this was a decent match. Nothing too crazy to write home about, but I do agree with you. Lola Vice does look very good. She's been doing a lot of good stuff with the new opportunities that she's getting. So I'm very excited to see her because I do think she will be holding gold in the very near future.
Yeah, definitely possible. I think in 2026, I think that could be her year where we see some of the top women like JC and Fallon maybe go up to the main roster. I think she's somebody who can definitely fill in that role as being the next main world champion for the year.
Yeah, for sure. But moving on to our main event of the night, we see the most surprising thing happen here, and that is Ricky Saints defeating Oba Femi's over 200-day reign as NXT champion. And yeah, just very, very exciting, unexpected. I kind of had a feeling that maybe he would win, but at the end of the day, it's Oba Femi, so I was like, nah, he's not losing. This doesn't feel like time yet, but, you know, maybe it is time for him to just go up to that main roster now.
Yeah, Ricky Saints getting the win here definitely surprises me. I definitely thought this was going to be a kind of a easy Oba win, but it feels like there is different plans for Oba now. Maybe he will be going up to that main roster, or maybe after this invasion angle, he probably does go away for a little bit. But yeah, Ricky being the new world champion, it feels right. He feels like the guy who is either going to be him or Javon to get the job done. They pick Ricky. I don't mind that too much, but yeah, this match definitely want it to be a little bit better, but still a very good match nonetheless.
Yeah, I feel like Ricky Saints definitely delivered here. He hasn't really impressed me with his matches since he's come into the WWE, but I feel like this match kind of won me over a little bit more with him. This was definitely his best WWE match in my opinion. And Oba Femi also, this is just an amazing run for him, just to give him a little bit of credit. He went, I don't remember exactly how long his reign was. It was something over 240 days, somewhere around there. But yeah, obviously an amazing run from someone who's relatively new to just wrestling in general. He came up and just won people over very quickly, won gold, dominated, and yeah, you can't ask for more for what Oba Femi gave us.
Yeah, I mean, whatever is next for him, I'm obviously going to be a fan because of what he has done in this NXT World Championship run. I think he's done pretty much everything you could possibly ask for him. He's had the banger matches. He's had really good feuds. So if it is the main roster that's up next for him, I hope somebody who's kind of been laying low since his last loss is Gunther. I think that would be a great way to introduce the Oba Femi, is put him against the other big guy in Gunther, and I think that would be a fantastic match you can do. But like I said, whatever is next for him, I think he was easily going to be successful on whatever they want to do with him.
Yeah, and that's going to wrap it up for NXT No Mercy 2025. Very good show from WWE here. One of the better ones from NXT this year. I feel like, yeah, this was a good one. We appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.